new admit, put her on Zosyn and Meropenem for that UTI.
So in this video, I would have wiped the top of that vial with alcohol first. I'm Sarah, I'm a hospital pharmacist, and today let's review TikTok healthcare videos. Show you my honest reactions, whether these videos are relevant or not. Okay, let's see some of these videos.
Okay, so everyone needs to read chapter 1 through 80, and you need to know everything.
Wait a minute.
Cross.
Wait a
What do you
minute.
need? What do you need from me?
Is there anything specific that you kind of want us to focus in on for the exam?
Specifically focus on everything. You need. Okay, so
100%. This actually happened to me in pharmacy school, and no joke, this was word for word. Everything's important. Thank you. Very helpful. Pharmacy school is one of the hardest things I've ever went through. It's challenging, and I feel like it gets more and more difficult every year just because more and more drugs are being developed, guidelines are being changed constantly, so it's a really difficult program.
Oh hey, room 2's a pharmacist, by the way. She's really nice. What are the dosages? It's 650 of Tylenol, PO, it's a tablet, and I have 4 milligrams of intravenous Zofran.
Okay, when I'm out in the real world, I don't like to tell people I'm a hospital pharmacist because it makes them really nervous. I remember when my fiance was hospitalized a couple years ago, and I kind of kept it to myself that I was a pharmacist, but once he told them, like, oh, my girlfriend's a pharmacist, I can just see how nervous the nurse got. I get that. It's really intimidating, but yeah, that's why I don't usually like to tell people.
It is time.
Yes, this is a really good depiction of pharmacists at Code Blue. So Code Blue, it's a really stressful period. There's a lot of things going on. The doctors, one managing the patients, nursing is giving the CPR, pharmacists are the ones preparing the syringes, the epi and all of that. And usually we're the ones kind of keeping track of like how frequent the epis are. You know, the golden rule is like 3 minutes. That's why you see the timer on there for 3 minutes. Yeah, I usually always have my Apple Watch on hand, and I kind of keep track of when I hand it to the nurse. There's also always someone assigned of keeping track of the time of when the drugs are administered. So depending what hospital you work at, sometimes the timekeeper is a nurse, sometimes the timekeeper is a pharmacist.
Code Red. A patient has started a fire in the emergency department. Attention, there is now a loose petting tiger in the pediatric. Red.
This so true. This happens all the time at hospital. Oftentimes the code reds aren't really real code reds. They're just like a false alarm, or the alarm goes off. And this is just our regular day. We either just sit there while the alarm is going off and we're like, either this could be a fake alarm or, you know, I might die today. But, you know, I gotta really finish this Vanco that I'm dosing.
Hey, do you know how to get a hold of the pharmacist on call? Did you call the operator? Yeah, they connected me to an extension that was busy. You could try calling down to the pharmacy directly. I tried that too, and they said he's not down there. I've got an idea. Okay. For that new admit, put her on Zosyn and Meropenem for that UTI. But it's not even a complicated UTI. If she's just, don't worry about it. Just do it. Trust me. Okay. Done. Now what? We wait. What do you mean? Wait for...
Are you insane?
There we go. What is that? That's Lenny.
Are you trying to single-handedly manufacture a superbug that's going to send us hurtling towards the apocalypse?
I'm sorry,
If you think I'm going to approve your misguided choice of antibiotics, then frankly, you've got another thing coming.
Hey, Lenny, don't worry. It was an oversight. He already canceled the orders.
Is that true?
Yeah, sorry. They've been discontinued.
Oh, okay. Good.
While I've got you here, I'm starting a patient on diltiazem, but I'm worried it's going to interact with his statin. Is there any way you could...
I can do that, absolutely. Let me go through the indication, interaction, and side effects for all the medicines on his med list, and I'll get back to you.
Thanks, Lenny. You're the king.
I gotta go for now, though. Someone just tried to order a non-crushable med to be given through an NG tube. Go get him, man.
We're not worthy.
I'll see you in a bit. Hey, do you know how to...
I love this video. It's one of my favorites just because pharmacists, this is true. We are really huge antimicrobial stewardships. If there's a really weird antimicrobial order, best believe we're gonna reach out to you and be like, why did you order this? This is unnecessary. So this video is just hilarious that for them to find the pharmacist, they put in a bad order and they knew that we'll come up and approach them like, hey, are you sure you want this? Yeah, so for pharmacists, we're very diligent about, trying not to overuse unnecessary antibiotics because, like the video mentioned, antibiotic resistance is a huge deal, very concerning, and that's one of our jobs is to prevent that. So at my hospital, certain antibiotics like meropenem that needs approval by the ID pharmacist first for certain situations like that to prevent misuse. And yes, oftentimes a lot of doctors reach out to us and have us help run through the entire med list, check for drug-drug interactions, help them with dosing, things like that. So it's very common.
We all know that Ampule bottles usually contain drugs or vaccines with high sterility requirements, which are intended to be injected into the body. So, will the glass shards from a broken Ampule bottle fall into the medication and be injected into the body? Generally, the diameter of the needle on a syringe is relatively small, so larger glass fragments cannot be sucked in. Moreover, nurses typically invert the Ampule bottle to extract the medication, leaving some liquid in the bottle. Therefore, it is unlikely that glass shards would be sucked in. Of course, the safest method is to use a disposable infusion filter, which can filter out most of the glass fragments.
Saw a lot of people being nervous about.
Yes, so this is very true. Sometimes medications are dispensed in those glass little ampules like that, and always snap it away from you so that the glass doesn't, flash in your face. Always use a filter needle to extract the medication from the vial. So as a hospital pharmacist, when my technicians make anything that requires an ampule, they have to show their work, right? I always ask for plastic wrapping for them to save it as proof that they use a filter needle.
So a lot of people don't know there are many different types of pharmacists. And the way we take care of patients and even where we work in the hospital or outside of the hospital varies. So I'm an emergency medicine pharmacist. I attend cardiac arrests, strokes, sepsis alerts, traumas, and I make sure the team can choose the most appropriate medications for those patients and get them to them as fast as possible.
Hi, my name's Keenan. I'm a pharmacist clinician here at University of New Mexico Hospital. And as a pharmacist clinician, I get to independently see and manage patients on a variety of medications. So I can see patients, perform physical exams, order medications, order labs, change therapy. So it really allows us to extend access to many patients across the state.
Hey guys, my name's Mike Herman. I'm the OBGYN pharmacist here at UNM Hospital. I specialize in high-risk obstetric care to optimize gestational pharmacotherapy for our patients, and we take care of the highest risk patients in the entire state of New Mexico, helping them to have safe and healthy deliveries.
Hi, my name is Diara Gillum. I'm an infectious diseases pharmacist that currently works as an outpatient antimicrobial stewardship pharmacist. So that means I come up with protocols and interventions to ensure that we're using antibiotics in ambulatory settings safely and appropriately.
Hi guys, my name is Jay. I'm the pediatric pharmacy resident, and I help make clinical decisions on rounds in the PICU.
Yes, so many people don't know there's so many niche fields of pharmacy, and I just love seeing people react to when they first learn this.
Now this is just in a cardiac arrest scenario. First, for epinephrine. So epi has alpha adrenergic receptor stimulating properties.
Okay, this is what we assemble as pharmacists during cold blues. The ready in syringes, all we need to do is just assemble it and give it to the nurse or the doctor to administer. So see here, she's about to pop open the ends.
Adrenergic effects of epinephrine increase myocardial and cerebral blood flow.
And all you have to do is just twist it in. But once it's ready to give, all the nursing does is just push it in the medication, and it should administer through the IV.
My day as an IV pharmacy tech. Labels on the window mean orders that need to be done. So let's gown up and make some IVs. First we gotta reconstitute daptomycin, a pea looking.
Yes, so a lot of medications like the antibiotics, they come as powder, and we need to reconstitute it, as in meaning to dissolve it with either sterile water or NS, whatever it requires.
Medication. We have to add 10 mLs of NS and wait for all the med to dissolve properly. This label calls for 5 mLs of erythromycin in a 100.
So once he dissolves, he draws up the amount of drug that he needs and inserts it into the IV piggyback.
for it to be approved by a pharmacist.
See, so that part is where I go in and I check their work. So see here how he saves the needle, he pushes it back to how much he added in, and he shows the vial, and then the final bag with the label.
Slow day, so we decided to play some cards.
What, slow day and play cards? I never have slow days on mine.
Back to work. This label calls for 2 mLs of vasopressin in a 40 milliliter bed of NS. Since we only have 50 milliliters bags, we have to remove 12 mLs of NS.
So this is called the 10% rule. So however amount of drug you add into the bag, if it's greater than 10%, you have to remove that amount out of the bag first. So let's say, so like he said here, he needs to add 12 mLs to a 50 ml bag. So 10% of that is 5 mLs. So 12 mLs is clearly way more than that. So that's why he has to take out 12 mLs from the bag first before injects in 12 mLs of the medication. Love this. Saves us so much time. When you go to the ER or have a family member go into ER, please have a medication list ready or bring the medication bottles. That makes our job so much easier so we don't have to try to guess and figure out what you or your loved ones are taking. Makes our job so much easier. See, okay. So these are mini bags, and this is what a lot of our medications, we have prepped and ready for the nursing to give. So it looks like in this particular hospital, the nursing has to prepare it themselves, which is interesting because every hospital I worked at, pharmacy would mass prepare these in the IV room. So in this video, I would have wiped the top of that vial with alcohol first, just to make sure that it's clean and sterile. Okay, see here how she snaps it? That's how you release the fluid or the solution into the vial to mix it together. So in my hospital, we would send it unmixed, and then when nursing gets the order, they'll mix it themselves. I rarely ever get to see it mixed, so it's actually kind of cool seeing from the other side. Let me know if you guys like these type of videos.